up.
All right, we're back.
And before we begin, I do want to go ahead and extend a heartfelt apology.
I don't think it's heartfelt.
And express
No one believes you.
I don't believe you.
and express my sincerest apologies towards the people of France. It is a beautiful culture, and here at Bikes and Brews, we really take a stance of equality, fairness, and acceptance of everyone.
I can't even tell when you're being sarcastic.
Of any color, race, creed, nationality, or otherwise.
Anyways, I'm Carl.
Frog.
This is Los.
Wow.
We're not going to talk about him. And we have Angie back in again for these episodes.
There he is.
Painfully so.
We're still hanging out in Sea Otter, and we're in our Airbnb, and we're winging it.
I haven't even gotten up yet.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
So
We're talking about tech.
Oh,
we're talking about tech.
Components.
We're talking
Component
about tech.
specifically components.
Not bikes. Other stuff
Yeah,
related
fuck
to
bikes.
bikes.
The parts that go on the bikes.
Parts that go on
parts.
bikes.
That's very good. That's
Parts
No
that make
clothing.
bikes.
Yeah.
No,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
no soft goods. We're talking about
No helmets.
hardware.
No toiletries.
No
hardware.
No
No
backpacks.
No mirror
no
on
shoes.
your helmet.
No mirrors.
Right.
Shower accessories.
There's a couple things I think. So let's get this
Like
going.
soap.
Correct.
But before we do that, we need to taste some of these tasty beverages.
All right,
Okay.
let's get to it.
Where are they?
these
What are we at?
are-
What are we
What
doing?
did you get us this time?
I
Yeah.
got us something
Cerveza.
from here. That's right. It's actually from Monterey.
Oh,
Monterey
whoa.
beer.
Monterey
There you
beer. I
go.
wonder
Good
where it's
job.
from.
From
How
Alvarado.
do you say Monterey again in Spanish?
Monterey.
Okay, thanks.
It's yeah. Locals lager.
There's
From
lots of
Salinas.
Monterey
I don't think
activities.
lager is
Yeah,
Spanish.
this is a
Lager.
Tree
That's-
trimming,
that's-
painting,
No, you did a bad job.
Yeah, I
it's a
know.
smorgasbord.
hailing a ship.
All right, I'm going to crack this bad
Since
boy.
1935.
Somebody solo cut me.
Oh, you got it.
I think I might just go straight out of the
Put 'em
can
up
on
there.
this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just pour me a little bit, because God knows I'm wasted on
These
it.
are lagers. I'm going to predict that you might like this a little
Yeah.
bit. It's not going to be
You might
offensive to you.
like it a
There you
lager.
go.
I see what you did there, and it was bad.
Cerveza.
It was bad.
Hasn't
And
got good.
I missed it, and I don't feel like I missed out.
So, Athletic Brewing Company was also making these Moscow Mules, these mocktails. I was inspired by the.
I like cocktails. I'm not stoked about that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm also terrified.
Yeah, I'm with Kenji on this one.
sounds good.
That's going to be really loud.
Yeah, my bad.
You're not even going to go solo cup? You're just going straight out of the
Just go
can.
straight out of the can. That's a yeah, you know. I mean,
I
it's
guess
a
it's not really a big leap.
lager. Yeah,
Lager.
easy drinking.
There you go. What do you think, Ryan?
It's utterly indistinguishable from like a Bud Light.
Fair.
I think that's fair.
It's a
It
little
is.
bit more to me of that.
It is or it
Yeah.
isn't.
No, that's unfair. Utterly indistinguishable from Bud Light. Bud Light's like the cardboard.
What did
Of
somebody
beer.
did somebody forget to take the dog out? Is that what's happening?
I think
Is
so.
the dog scratching at the door?
I think so. I think so.
Who's dwarfing around back there? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, that's just... It's beer.
Okay.
Do you, what beyond? Is there any? Are there any notes coming? through
You're
for
flustering Carl for once in his life.
It's relatively inoffensive as far as beers go. So I mean,
Oh.
it's
you? Which
gonna
a lager
Wow.
is.
yeah. So I mean, it's gonna get a better rating from me off of that. It doesn't taste like I've got a mouthful of lawn clippings.
Okay. So not an
Slug.
IPA.
you gargling it?
You're warming it up.
I wonder what the
It's like
IBUs
it's like
are
a
on this
cupping.
one.
It's kind of like the
It won't be on the can. It won't be on the can. It
it's,
won't be on
it's
the
like the
can.
vanilla.
What is the
vanilla ice cream
ABV though?
taste.
Yeah.
Alcohol by volume.
ABV. Okay. What? Okay.
4.5.
It's gonna be around there. I think.
Yeah, I think
like
so, too.
4.4, 4.6.
I'm gonna
4.5,
say
around
it's
there.
5-1.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Are we
All
on
right,
Price is
4.
Right
I'm gonna go
rules?
4.2.
Are we on Price is Right rules?
No, closest. Not.
It is 4.5.
Oh, is
The
it?
second one he's nailed.
Fuck
Yes.
off, Carl. Look at that. Fucking amateurs.
That's pretty good, man.
Wow.
I like this. I kind of like this.
Do you really?
It's easy.
Yeah.
Does it taste like I
That's
hate
enough.
I can't stand lagers either. But
Really?
I feel like they all taste the same.
This is like a nice.
There's less to
Oh,
hate about.
are you on the Bud Light bus too?
No, I haven't tried it. I haven't tried this. I've just
Modelo, Dos
Lagers
Equis.
all taste the same to me.
They're so different.
Okay, see, look.
Really?
Totally.
Oh my god.
That's my point.
You're killing me,
Lo-
Smalls.
I don't feel like I have to put a lime in this in the glass bottle and do this.
Do what?
How's it
And
go?
salt.
Do what?
Do what?
Put a lime, smash it through the bottle,
And then
go like this
Oh.
and smash it.
smash it.
Yes.
You gotta smash
I'm not doing that with this.
All right, no smashing.
Doesn't need it.
No. It's,
No need to smash. What do you think about it as a
I kind
lager?
of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Notes?
I'm getting some citrus notes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
getting
not.
a little bit of citrus
you
notes.
didn't get any. Yeah, I've got a little bit of malt. It's a malty
I mean, it's a
one.
little bit of a stretch for citrus, but it's definitely more than like Budweiser.
okay.
Yeah.
You're right. It might not be Bud Light, but Budweiser.
It's better than Budweiser to me. I like it.
Yeah.
In terms of lagers.
Yeah, it's easy drinking.
Yeah.
You could relabel this, and you couldn't tell me it's not correct.
All right.
Okay.
We should do a blind taste
numeric
test one of these
value?
days.
Yes.
We've done one of those.
We have?
Yeah.
I haven't.
8-2.
An 8.2. That's
I like
pretty
it.
high.
Yeah.
Oh,
8-2.
Okay.
Of all lagers, this is one of my favorites.
Are we rating it as a subcategory of lagers or
No,
across
in
all
general.
beers?
Beers.
Okay,
How does it
well,
compare to other beers in general? I gave it an 8-2.
I'll
pretty
go
high.
with a 6.
Okay.
Interesting. I, too, would give it a 6.
Okay, a 6.
All right.
Yeah.
See,
I like
we're bringing Beechner's beer palette up.
Because every once in a while, I want something like a lager. You know,
I just
Hot
called
day.
it Budweiser.
like a pitcher of beer. If you're
You
getting
think
that,
you're
you'll have a
elevating
lager.
my taste?
Right.
You know, with sushi or something.
Keep
that
that
would go
firmly on the ground.
Yeah, I like
We're,
it.
we're
Good. I'm glad you like it.
6.
I like it so much that I'm like driving across town to have a picture of this stuff.
Sure. But,
Yeah, but when in Rome
yeah.
But
so,
these get degrees.
Exactly.
or Monterey.
for Monterey.
Wow.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, so
That's like the noise that you got back in the day when the TV ran out of content and it was just the bars
Yes,
on the
I like
screen.
that.
I'm so glad you
You're
said,
not old enough
keep
for
this
that.
one to
Yes, I
20
am.
minutes. And
No,
you're doing sounds like that.
You saw it on YouTube.
So we have the Athletic Brewing
about
Company,
facts.
Nobody
Moscow
cares. Nobody
Mules.
cares. Nobody cares.
And
Nobody
Never
cares.
dial a rotary.
I'm gonna have a.
Yeah.
See, everybody's talking over here.
I know.
Sorry.
What are we
Here,
drinking?
try this.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, this is a Moscow
This is a
alcohol-free.
Oh,
Not
Mos-
Moscow. It's a Moscow Mule.
Moscow.
What the hell did you just say?
Moscow Mule. He said Moscow. It's a Moscow. Hey, try it. Try it. We have 10 minutes left for tech.
It smells like ginger ale.
Yeah.
It's this is
It
That's not-
tastes like
that-
ginger ale.
It's not
It
good.
tastes like ginger ale
I'll
with
lick
lime.
yours. Let me try it.
It's ginger ale with a bunch of lime in it,
Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like.
That's all they did.
which I would not say is good.
this tastes like watered down ginger beer.
It says near beer with ginger, lime, and natural
Once
flavors.
again, there's something a little bit artificial in there.
Yeah, I don't get
beer.
it. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, that's a lot of lime.
I'm gonna give that baby a 3.5.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Not even if I was a recovering alcoholic.
I mean, it does. It's not offensive, but I would
Why would I do
pass
that?
it up in 2 seconds.
Oh wow!
That's not too bad.
What just happened there?
I took another sip on
Yes.
accident.
That's not too bad. I mean, I would.
It's no mezcal mule.
It's no Moscow Mule. Fair.
Yeah.
True, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
I give that in the realm of NA beers.
Okay.
I give that a 3.5.
Well, okay, we've been doing like two ratings. One,
Well,
how
you
does it
said
compare to NA beers and NA stuff?
Yeah.
And then we have a second vote of compared to just
The
beers.
real McCoy.
The real McCoy.
In this
So-
case, a Moscow Mule.
So, we're comparing
Yes.
this against an actual Moscow
Yes.
mule. 1,
Okay.
0,
Okay.
-3. I don't know. I mean, we
He
keep
went for
going
like a-
down.
He went like for a 5 at one
No,
point.
I didn't. But I don't.
Not on
it
this
doesn't
one.
taste like the
The real deal.
yeah, the real deal.
No.
That you made us the other
No,
day.
but if you poured a bunch of alcohol in it, it could get close.
You know,
I don't
people
think it
could
would.
probably do that.
If you put alcohol in that, there's something artificial about it that's not stoking me out. You know, like with Moscow Mule, like, I want to taste like lime, and that tastes like
Lime?
That didn't taste like lime to you.
There was
Lime?
lime in
There
there.
was a lot of lime.
Yeah, but
No,
it's
I
like
know, but it tastes like
lime?
artificial lime.
Yeah.
Like, it tastes like art. That's my point. It doesn't taste like somebody squeezed a lime in there. It tastes like a sucrets or something. You know, like it's just off.
Yeah.
Cough drop?
Yeah, like it tastes a little.
Yeah.
bit
I was about to
off.
say like a green Jolly Rancher.
No.
No, those are good.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
All right, moving on. Sea Otter
Well,
Tech.
yeah, see,
Jack.
let's
Okay,
jump.
components, hardware, things you put on bikes.
L2.
L2
L2 was pretty amazing.
freaking sweet. I gotta say the mountain bike setup that they had, which is I think
Everything.
not quite released yet. They didn't have pricing for it. or
I
anything
think
like
if
that.
it was
like
trying to keep up with like Durace and those, then we wouldn't have been so wowed. But I think when we looked at it,
it's a
go, it's
105.
wow because it's like it's. I think it'll blow away at 105.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Not about
But it's
blowing. That's
not
it's
about blowing
stronger.
away,
But
Like,
it's still priced way below that stuff.
it is priced below it, and
My-
you can feel that.
I want to know how long till it's spec'd on an OE Western bike.
Yeah,
I don't think it's too far off.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
I'd give it 18 months.
Think so?
that soon, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That'd be
if you
cool.
think about it, if
That'd be
you
super
think
cool.
about those mainstream brands and everything that have those mainstream tier, like when they start specking it with like house brand stuff that you're like, what is that? Or like FAA or FSA where they swap the cranks for an FSA or something like that, where it's not like a full set,
Right.
but they're swapping in little things, and you're like, well, why did they do that? Like I could see it
Where
sliding. in.
I think it really makes sense is when you so in that, but when it's below 105.
Yeah,
So I think Shimano Q's is a really hard sell compared to, or Tiagra
yeah,
is a really hard sell compared to
This.
L2.
yeah.
Which
I
they're
agree.
getting rid of Tiagra.
Well, it becomes Q's.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
you see this OEM spec on a mountain bike before you see it on the road. 100%.
Yeah, the mountain
The
bike.
mountain bike one
Maybe.
was super. I think a solid competitor to the wireless, the Axis GX
It'll be interesting to know.
level trim. Like
it
it was,
was pretty
was
hefty,
It was
but-
high. Well, so is the GX during.
Yeah, true.
And
But
honestly,
GX
it was
is 105. Is mountain bike 105?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
it's
But the
kind
mountain
of the
bike-
group set of
Not
the
according to
people.
SRAM, but you know.
I feel like mountain bike
Yeah.
is always quicker to adopt things and put it out
They're a
there
little bit
versus
more
the road.
open-minded,
Yeah, and
it's
the,
pretty
the,
hard to knock off like a Shimano or a Campy. And Campy's like in the rearview mirror at this point, so I think there's room for the
Always
market
has
to,
been.
you know.
Who said that? The feel of that the trigger shifter
Yeah.
for that mountain bike
Felt
and
great.
the
It works
action
in
of it
that
and the
situation.
fact that you can configure it for
You can program
9-speed,
it.
10-speed, 11-speed,
Yeah.
12-speed.
Oh, is
within
L2
that.
doing that, or is that just wheel top?
No, that's
No,
L2.
L2
L2
Yeah,
as
L2
well.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, just the finished polish on that mountain bike setup was awesome. I thought that was cool.
I
Their
want to
new
know
brake
if it,
calipers don't look as awful as they used to.
No,
What's
and
that?
they had
Which
a
ones?
cool proprietary heat sink that was kind of interesting
Yeah,
as
the
well.
fins?
From an engineering, yeah, it was like so instead of just having fins for a heat sink, they had them and they curved them back
Yeah,
over,
and then
so
they
it gave
perforated.
them, perforated, so it gave them a lot more surface area
Yeah.
Oh,
to
interesting.
bleed the heat off.
Those have been around for a little bit, but yeah, they
Oh, that's the first time I'd seen it.
Oh, I've seen it on L2 stuff. They've had.
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, but I like the road stuff because I like the feel of the hoods. I
Yeah.
thought they did a pretty good job of the ergonomics of it.
Yeah.
Now you pointed out you didn't really like the button tactile feel, but I think
Yeah.
we have a pretty high bar for that.
105,
But 105 feels the same as
Yeah.
Ultegra, which feels the same as Durace.
Yeah.
which is a really good
Like it's like a
tactile-
chunk, and it does
Yeah.
have a little bit more flex and everything. I don't know. Maybe if we rode it for a while, you stop thinking about that. But I think it, you know, the feel of the buttons and everything, the texture and the hoods and all that. I think it's impressive considering the price.
Sure.
Like if you put
Very.
Ultegra and Durace out of your mind, compared it to like maybe below 105, which it is in terms of price point and everything, I think they did a really good job.
But so we do have to bring the question though.
Tiagra.
No, it starts with a T and ends with Arifs.
That will change everything.
I mean, I think that kind of.
I don't know how they're going to get around that.
Oh, you know what? Wasn't
gonna
one of
be-
you telling me that when you were talking to somebody at the L2 booth, they're like, "Yeah, we had a distributor
They were lining
up
up.
until last
Yeah.
week, and
There
then
was
everything
there was
fell apart."
that was the elephant in the room walking around Sea Otter. There was enough booths there. You're like,
I don't think they'll
what's
be
gonna
back.
happen
Yeah,
there?
what are they going to
yeah,
do?
yeah. A lot of the Asian companies that were like at Taipei and stuff, when they came here, they thought, we're gonna we're gonna hit the market, and we're excited. And they
When they
You
they
could
had
see it in their face.
they had
were
long
confused.
faces.
When
Very
they
long
booked
faces.
when they booked their booth a month ago,
Yeah.
this was a great
Or
idea.
6
Yeah.
months.
When
When they got on the flight, they were fucked.
yeah, they were not happy. You could tell.
Yeah,
So
and then you can feel that ripple throughout. Like they're there, and they're just like, "Come talk to us," but we don't know what's gonna happen.
And, well, and that's a brand that's overtly, Taiwanese or Chinese or
Chinese,
whatever, and
mainland.
what have you.
Yes, mainland.
but also every other brand that depends on some kind of supply
Yeah.
chain.
It's just so in your face, and it's so like direct to consumer in that sense. Instead of hiding behind closed doors and rebranding it, people never see it. This is like straight to your face, like they're
Screwed.
directly
screwed.
affected. Yeah.
And there's good stuff too. Like we went to the light bicycle once just to
Yeah.
keep going and they make wheels and frames.
Mm-hmm.
They had an incredibly light wheel set.
yeah, they had a gravel wheel set that was.
Yes.
What was the internal on that? But the thing
It
The
was
internal
huge.
was 30.
When,
30.
I saw your face when he said this.
Yeah.
When the gal said this is a gravel wheel.
Yeah.
And it looked like a downhill rim
Yeah,
because
it
it was
was-
so
yeah,
It's a
freaking white and built
30
up.
mil internal, and I
Internal.
think it had a 35 or 40 mil depth, and then they had an even deeper one that was like a 50
Yeah.
on
Six-
the race bike.
687 grams.
I've
For a rear wheel.
Yeah,
I
rear
was
wheel.
I was
Yeah, industry.
so before I came up here, I was actually looking at their website because Pablo's ordered wheels through them and
Yeah.
absolutely
I have a
loves
set.
loves
I
it,
have
yeah.
them on my hardtail.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, if they make like a 50 and a 60 or a 50-50, my my e-bike commuter that I have will fit 40s. And I was thinking about it, well,
That
throw
would be
some
fun.
throw some
fun,
for-
yeah.
I was going to think, yeah, so use that gravel wheel with the 30 or 32 mil internal, 40 external, and a real big tire,
Yeah.
and go descend Palomar.
Yeah.
Just fly.
Oh, good lord!
Yeah.
Contact patch. is
Yes.
I
massive.
was. You guys are kind of
Supermoto.
looking at the stuff inside the booth, but on the outside, I don't know if you noticed, they had a full disc wheel,
Yeah.
and it was It was 806 grams, I think it was,
Yes.
for a full disc, and I picked it up and it felt really light. It was a clincher and everything, and I was like, wow, and the pricing is, smoking deal too. I was. Of course, who knows if it'll double in price now? But the
We
point
were
is like
we were
it's
talking
pretty
about
impressive.
it last night at around the dinner table, and I, out of curiosity, was like, okay, so if I just ordered a set of these wheels online, and they came in, how much is my actual total purchase price? And I used the CRW wheels from Panopodium as an example. List on those is $1,700, which on its own, great price.
Right.
I've heard
Yeah.
lots of great things
Yeah.
about those wheels.
Yep.
But between what you would pay U.S. Customs and the retail price you pay,
Oh, yeah.
plus shipping, you're at like $3,800.
Oof, bad news.
Oh.
Which and the shitty part is that the merchants aren't going to go ahead and put that on every single listing because they don't know where the person is going to be purchasing from.
Right.
So if you're not aware of this, you order a wheel set, you're going to go ahead and get a customs bill, 2-3 weeks later. That's going to be
I
more
think
than
there's
the
going to be a
wheel
lot of
set
confusion
cost.
because the people might refuse. You don't know what's going to happen. Will they refuse them, send them back? Like, what's going to happen?
Well, no,
you know?
So the way most customs bills works is they'll show up 2-3 weeks later.
No, I
That's-
know.
So that's a used product by that point.
Yeah.
You cannot send it back.
No, I mean, you refuse the delivery. I mean, I don't know how it works, but
No, it won't show up at
Yeah.
the delivery.
There's a delay between the customs.
So, for instance, if it's UPS, DHL, FedEx, you'll get a separate bill in the mail a couple weeks
but
after
if they
it
don't
arrives.
release it, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it could be a total surprise.
I
and-
want to see the ripple effect through the rest of the industry too, because I think that it's going to have such a big impact on so many different things. That we don't. That was the obvious one. We're like, oh, that stuff is but
Oh,
like
and
all
when-
the manufacturing and supplies and
Yeah.
When
all
we
that
were
stuff.
talking with a couple of the Western brands,
Yeah.
I would talk with the sales guy and be like, okay, can I ask an uncomfortable question? Where are you guys manufacturing this? And I'm like, is it China? And they're like, no, Vietnam. No, it was, there was a number
so the
of different.
various tariff fees
So-
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a number
Still-
of manufacturers which could be impacted severely, and there's other ones which are kind of
Different
clear
degrees.
sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild.
That
Yeah.
kind of tainted that. Unfortunately, that tainted the walking the show to be
Yeah.
that obvious, because you
No
get
doubt.
excited about seeing something and you're like,
Ooh,
Yeah.
no sense being excited about this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It was really sad,
What
actually.
what other products did we like to talk about and see?
The gearbox that Praxis was showing off, what had the actuator that allowed.
And maybe we'll get more into detail on that.
I didn't get to
'cause
see
there
that.
there was a lot going on with that thing, and I thought it was really interesting.
Well, and when I saw it, I immediately thought of a patent that SRAM was granted. I think it was last year, where they had integrated the
Yeah, you know more about that than I do.
where
for
they had
sure.
integrated the derailleur into the actual chain rings, and the little ring and the big ring were one thing that would actuate in the same way,
Whoa.
instead of having a derailleur itself.
Oh, that's interesting.
SRAM will do anything to avoid a front derailleur.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much engineering.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I really liked, and it seems so simple, but it's bothered me for a while. I saw that finally, Crank Brothers have like legitimate simple hand guards.
Yeah.
You know, they have a quick release version to just quick, because the thing is, like, nobody really wants to bolt on this whole mechanism to make a hand guard for mountain biking, and I think it makes sense because they're from Laguna Beach, and you know there's a lot of cactus on
overgrown trails.
overall, and our hands get trashed. Yeah, you know, poison oak,
Yeah.
and they have a bolt on one and they have a quick release one, and they're basically the same design, but one's quick release, obviously.
Just
So
different hardware.
yeah, it's like $65 and $75 retail, and I just thought, like, why have we been waiting so long to have
Right.
this?
Note to Carl, those wouldn't have saved you from that.
No, I know.
You'd still not have it here and have it here. Yes.
I mean, in the past, I think like A Service made some, and some other
Oh, yeah.
some bad designs were out there, and they were so frustrating because like you didn't want to spend 15 minutes installing this thing because you're only going to maybe use it for one ride,
Yeah.
or it's that time of year where you're like, you know, I don't want to put on Kevlar gloves to bash down brush in Laguna Beach,
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
you know.
Everything's really overgrown right
And
now.
I thought the design was just really done really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
so-
think it was nice too.
Yeah. So, anyways,
That's awesome.
You favorite tech? Anything?
Favorite tech? I really like those gravel wheels. I was blown away at the light bicycle gravel wheels. Those were super cool and they had bird spokes on them, and crazy light. And then the gal told me it had i9 hub. I don't know which i9 hub, but it had an i9 hub. And then she goes,
Torch.
Was it a torch?
I think it was a torch.
She said we can make it lighter depending on the hub. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
So-
like a DT Swiss, like
The
180 or
180 or a
something.
Tap.
Yeah, that blew my mind. So that was absolutely my favorite because I can see myself buying a set of wheels like that and just
Shortly after you remortgage your house with the customs bill.
right, yeah. So we'll see. Oh, maybe when one of those pauses and they do insider trading, maybe I can get some wheels. Right, that might be nice.
You know.
So
And like the gearbox thing, I think that another thing that was obvious that needs more time probably is the Fox inverted fork and what's going on with that.
Did you guys actually hear anything about what's going on? I know the through axle they're using appears to be oversized.
It's a different size. That kind of bummed me out a
Oh,
little bit.
no.
Yeah.
But that'll end up being
Standard, out the window.
Yeah.
no, but that'll just end up being an axle cap swap.
But the whole mechanism down there, you can't figure it's not just an easy inverting the fork. Like now you have to have the stanchion guards that are bolting onto that, and then the
So I
cable
have-
routing has to go a certain way, and like all this other things have to happen. You know.
So I've got some experience with the upside down forks because my dad has.
Well, motorcycles are that way. Dirt bikes.
Well, yeah. So since my dad got into mountain biking, his background is motocross. He's always been like, why don't they use an upside down fork? It's better. It's better. It's better. And it's like, there's more to it than that. It's not a motorcycle. Whatever.
Right.
We came up last year and Push Industries was here, and he's just like, "Oh, upside down fork." He wound up ordering their whole setup for
cool.
his bike. So
wow.
$4,000 later.
oh wow, I was gonna say that was
And that said, he absolutely swears by the thing, and it's
I mean, it's not new in the industry. It's just new for Fox. In
No,
terms
what
of
was the
we know.
RockShox one that was
the
on
RS1.
The
That was
RS1
cross
country.
cross
Well,
country, yeah.
Manitou had the Dorado, and then before that, Marzocchi had an inverted fork. They had it for a free ride single crown one too. there's been a few iterations. Of,
Oh, was the Fox? Was that a dual crown?
yes,
Okay, so
it's their downhill fork.
the push.
crazy.
The push that my dad has is a single crown,
Oh, okay.
and it would be interesting to have you guys hop on that bike because I think it's the same size that. What size Specialized do you ride it? S5.
XL. I don't have
So I
the.
think
Mine
that's-
was prior to the S sizing.
Okay.
Or not all their bikes are S sizing.
They're mountain bikes.
Mine's-
I
Yeah,
don't
because
think
my
mine was
Epic Evo is
Oh, interesting.
large.
Okay.
Well, my stump jumper is definitely pre S sizing.
Anyhow, it would be interesting to
mine's
have you
medium.
guys jump on it because it's. He swears it's a fucking revolution. And he's had a bunch of his buddies jump on it who've all been like, wow, this makes things a hell of a lot easier.
What I didn't see, and it wasn't explained with the Fox one, was how would you attach a fender, because there's no, arc, and what's their plan for that? And then there was a bunch of knobs on top, like they're using the same, on one leg, the same similar damper system.
Yeah.
And then the other side has a air input valve on the top and the bottom, negative, positive, or whatever. But they're not explaining it; they're just showing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's
it
interesting.
just said prototype.
Yeah.
So I'm not really knowledgeable on inverted forks. Why?
Well, there's a few different reasons. I can't.
Differ.
I mean, it
turns
it
it
can be stiffer.
upside
Sometimes they get noodly or more noodly, but it also it's self lubricating because all the O-rings are on the bottom, so they're constantly being lubed, as opposed to being on top where they could possibly dry out
Yeah.
and things like that. You know?
Typically speaking, the reason they haven't been popular in mountain biking is because they're not as rigid. Because your stanchions are opposite, so you can't you can't stabilize the two stanchions with a cross bridge.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you end up with, or in the
Like
past
there's
they've had
long tubes
tracking
without
issues.
any support midway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So how are they getting past that with that giant Fox one?
By
So
the
I-
through axle.
So Push has done it by.
But that's still at the bottom. There's nothing at the midway,
Yeah,
right
all
over
the way
the
through
tire
the
to
middle.
give it a
You've got
brace.
these two.
Okay.
Yeah, so the way they've worked through it in the past has typically been with oversized through axles to try and go ahead and just basically
Beef up
create a double shear system the way it's mounted. I think the way Push did it was by tapering the stanchions and then doing something different in the way they bond them into the upper. And then the way their lower dropout brake mount system is all really nicely
brake mount
robust
system
and
too.
machined.
Oh, jeez.
So that RS1 fork was just like a full carbon piece.
It was just a big ass
Oh,
casting.
that's
it was
right. That's
huge.
right.
We're not casting, a mold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's
It was
a
really
lot
rigid.
of little things like that, and it's like, do we need another standard? Because as it is, it's like we're 15, but downhill bikes are traditionally have a 20 mil through axle.
Yeah.
And you're
I
using
believe they're
bolts.
going to 30s.
Oh, good lord.
I thought it was smaller than 20.
No, the new one is bigger.
Yeah.
This Fox one?
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
larger.
I thought it was
So
smaller.
I've-
I was like, oh.
So I've heard stories of
that changes the hub,
R&D with
everything.
a
They gotta
couple
run
of,
a
the,
specific
of a couple of these
hub.
things
Jeez.
where they've gone as large as 40.
Oh.
Wow.
But that requires a different bearing arrangement, different hub. Different all
Yeah,
that.
that changes everything.
And the brake mount and everything, and just
And according to my conversation with Push, doesn't solve the problem.
Jeez. Shift in topic. Did anyone see any 32s?
What?
Any 32 size wheels?
No.
Intern?
I didn't either.
I did not
No,
see
like
no.
like the diameter.
Not 29
Oh,
or
yeah,
diameter.
Sorry.
32s.
I don't associate that with wheel diameter yet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean,
I
Maxxis
was-
has a couple tire models.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
The
didn't
only
either.
the only time I've heard about it was the coverage I saw from Taipei.
Right. So we didn't see it at Sea Otter. So
Maybe we just missed it.
Don't
Maybe.
worry, in 5 years we're all gonna have a 32 in the front,
There's
and
a
29
lot
in the
to
back.
the new mullet.
yeah, the new mullet.
Mullet XL.
All right, with that, I think we covered a lot of ground.
We did.
Maybe we should move on and wrap this one up.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, all 8 of
Stay
you.
tuned. Yeah. Riders, like and subscribe.